as the coach of the year, I'm sure plenty of people are looking up to you as in that profession. Would you have any advice for anyone? Maybe they're, relatively new to coaching, or they're thinking about going into it as a career, or maybe they're thinking about going for that award next year. Do you have any advice that you think you'd tell them?
Yeah, it's funny. As coaches, we don't really give advice, so it's kind of
Yeah.
have to think a little bit about this one. But I think it starts. I suppose there's so many different pieces. For people that are thinking of getting into coaching as a profession, the reality is it is a difficult profession to get into. In terms of you're dealing with a lot of misconceptions about what coaching is and isn't, and because of that, it's such a big beast of a thing. So the first step is trying to figure out, well, what is it you're getting into, and accepting the fact that it is going to be challenging to build a business from it and to make a livelihood, and that will take time. It's not just something you can go away, do a couple of months training course on, and hey presto, I'm a coach and I'll have this big business and life will be wonderful. The reality is it's hard. And beyond that, then I would say the most important thing is about doing your own self-work. Before you can bring somebody else on a journey where they're discovering and connecting in with themselves and who they are and what they want out of life, you kind of have to do that work for yourself, because otherwise, who are you to authentically sit in front of a client and help them on their own journey? So that, I think that's sometimes a step that some people coming into coaching will look at. They'll just simply think it's a training course, I go off and do it. Whereas when you start to get into it, you realize actually it's so much more than a training course, and that whole voyage of your self discovery. The other part I would say as well is to be patient with yourself. Like a lot of these softer skills, it takes time and experience to develop them, and we can be a bit like kids in a candy shop, especially when you think about all the different training courses that are out there and all the different tools and frameworks and everything else, and we can be going, oh, I'll have that, I'll have this, and that's great, but at the same time, it does just allow yourself time and space to learn the basics, to embed some of the skills, to grow organically, to get the experience of working with clients, to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work, and to allow that to grow organically. And then when the right training comes along, you'll be ready for it, and you'll get so much more out of it. And then finally, I would say, and this is probably the most important one, is to connect with the coaching community, either through some of the coaching circles that are out there, or like a lot of the training courses or the training providers, they're nearly like families, in terms of the alumni days and the cohorts that we come together as classes, will stay together for years afterwards. So you connect with them, and also the likes of supervision, and all of those aspects are really important, because coaching can be quite a lonely profession, in terms of you're working very closely with clients who are sharing things with you that you can't share with other people. So how do you resource yourself and support yourself as a coach? And that's where the community and supervision and all of these sorts of things can really play a part in helping you grow and develop, as well as network. So it's, I think that's probably the three pieces of advice I would have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Stephen.